Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. Tonight's episode of Raw will see Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez go head-to-head. Big Mommy Cool is an obstacle that the Eradicator must overcome if she hopes to get her hands on Liv Morgan. But even though she has a chance to get rid of this thorn in her side, it might not go her way. So much so that Adam Pearce may have to bring back an iconic match after 9 months just to appease her. The iconic match in question here last featured the likes of Nia Jax and Becky Lynch. The two superstars gave it their all in a last woman standing match back in March 2024, which ended in the man's favor. Now, Adam Pearce could book a similar match for Saturday night's main event between Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez. Of course, the possibility of this match being booked depends on several things. In this scenario, Rhea Ripley could approach Raw General Manager Adam Pearce about it based on the results of her match tonight on Raw. She could have the upper hand throughout the bout, but could ultimately lose to Big Mommy Cool after the latter cheats, maybe with the help of Liv Morgan. Annoyed by the result and the whole situation, Ripley could demand that Pearce book a match for Saturday night's main event. Moreover, she could demand that it would be a match where neither she nor Rodriguez could escape on some technicality. This could lead Pearce to reluctantly book a last woman standing match. But at the end of the day, this is nothing more than speculation. Should Adam Pearce book a last woman standing match, it certainly wouldn't faze either Rhea Ripley or Raquel Rodriguez. In fact, the two women are not strangers to the stipulation, having been previously involved in such a match. After all, it was about 3 years ago that the two faced off against each other in this very stipulation. On January 6, 2021, Ripley and Rodriguez, who back then went by Raquel Gonzalez, went head-to-head in a last woman standing match at NXT's New Year's Evil. That time around, Big Mommy Cool was the one who came out on top. But if the two were to do it again in 2024, surely the Eradicator would look to rewrite history. But at the end of the day, and as mentioned earlier, a last woman standing match between the two in 2024 is nothing more than conjecture. Nevertheless, the two would be stepping into familiar territory if this fantasy booking were to come true. It had been 9 long months since Rhea Ripley stood in the ring, victorious, her presence felt by every corner of the WWE Universe. But in those months, a whirlwind of challenges had come and gone. New feuds were born, and old ones were rekindled. However, one thing was certain. Rhea Ripley was still the most dominant force in WWE. She had single-handedly changed the landscape of the women's division, but there was something missing. An iconic match, one that fans were clamoring for, had yet to be seen again. It had been 9 months since Rhea Ripley's last match of that caliber, and it was time to bring it back. Adam Pearce, WWE's authoritative figure on the ground, knew that fans were hungry for something that would not only shake up the division, but make history. He had witnessed the rise of Ripley, her transformation from a dominant NXT champion to the intimidating powerhouse she had become on the main roster. But even Pearce knew that the best way to bring her full circle and push her legacy even further was to revisit a match that had electrified the WWE Universe before. The match in question? The Women's Elimination Chamber. Adam Pearce had seen the growing anticipation. The rumors were swirling. Rhea Ripley was about to step into the spotlight again, and fans speculated that the Elimination Chamber would be the perfect stage. This was the match that had cemented the careers of many of WWE's greatest stars, where opportunities to shine were not just earned, but fought for, through blood, sweat, and raw willpower. It was the ultimate test of endurance, strategy, and survival. Over the last 9 months, Rhea Ripley had taken on all challengers, from former champions to rising stars, but nothing could quite match the spectacle of a women's elimination chamber. And Pearce knew that it was the right time to bring it back. The landscape of WWE was shifting once more, and Rhea was at the top of her game. As Adam Pearce stood backstage, contemplating the best course of action, he reflected on the passion that Rhea brought to the ring. She had become the face of the women's division, a title that once belonged to legends like Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch. Ripley's reign was different, though. Her dominance wasn't just based on her technical ability. it was her sheer presence. She was a woman who walked into a room and commanded attention, and fans had embraced her unapologetic approach to everything she did. A massive announcement. As SmackDown aired live, the crowd's energy was palpable, the atmosphere thick with anticipation. It wasn't just another week of routine matches. It was a special night. Adam Pearce stood in the ring, microphone in hand, his eyes scanning the crowd. The WWE Universe knew something big was about to happen, but they weren't sure what. His words echoed in the arena. "Ladies and gentlemen," Pearce began, "for the last 9 months, the landscape of WWE has been dominated by the presence of one woman, Rhea Ripley. She has shown time and again that she is not just a competitor, but the very definition of dominance. But there's one thing that we've all been waiting for, one challenge she has yet to face in her journey." The crowd erupted in anticipation. Pearce smiled, soaking in the tension before delivering the bombshell. "That's why, after careful consideration, I've decided to bring back an iconic match. The Women's Elimination Chamber." The crowd roared with approval. Pearce paused, letting the moment sink in before continuing. "Rhea Ripley, in just a few weeks, will defend her title in that very chamber against 5 of the best women WWE has to offer. A battle where only one can walk out with the championship, where the stakes are higher than ever before." The announcement sent shockwaves through the WWE Universe. Fans screamed in excitement as they could already envision the chaos and brutality that would unfold. The Elimination Chamber was a match that pushed its participants to their absolute limits. For Rhea Ripley, this would be the ultimate test of her resilience and tenacity. Backstage, Rhea Ripley stood in front of a mirror, staring at her reflection. She had heard the announcement. She had seen Pearce make his bold claim, and now the weight of the challenge settled on her shoulders. But Rhea wasn't someone who feared challenges. She thrived in the face of adversity. The Elimination Chamber wasn't just a match. It was an opportunity to cement her legacy as the most dominant female champion WWE had ever seen. Her mind raced with thoughts of the women who might stand across from her inside that hellacious structure. Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Asuka, and the up-and-coming talent who were hungry to make a name for themselves. The thought of facing these women didn't scare Rhea. It excited her. She would prove that no matter how many people entered the chamber, she was the one who would leave with the title still in her grasp. The road to the Elimination Chamber. Over the course of the following weeks, the WWE Universe was treated to a build-up that heightened the anticipation. SmackDown and Raw were filled with qualifying matches, where the stakes were as high as they could get. As the weeks passed, the names of Rhea Ripley's opponents slowly started to take shape. Each week, Ripley watched, observing the strengths and weaknesses of the women around her. Bianca Belair's incredible athleticism, Charlotte Flair's relentless drive for greatness, and Asuka's unpredictability in the ring. It was clear that this Elimination Chamber was going to be the most competitive and dangerous one yet. But Ripley was unfazed. She had weathered storms before, and she wasn't about to back down now. Finally, the night of the match arrived. The Elimination Chamber was set, with its steel structure looming above the ring. The atmosphere was electric as the 6 competitors made their entrances, each one receiving a mixed reaction from the crowd. The tension was palpable, the stakes higher than ever. When the bell rang, it was clear that Rhea Ripley wasn't going to give up her title without a fight. She was a force of nature inside that chamber, eliminating one opponent after another, and proving to everyone that her reign was far from over. As the final moments of the match approached, Rhea Ripley stood tall, having survived the brutal assault of the chamber. Her hand was raised in victory, the Women's Championship still tightly gripped in her hands. She had done it. The Elimination Chamber was back, and she had proven, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that she was the true queen of WWE. In the aftermath of the match, as the crowd erupted into applause, Adam Pearce looked on from backstage. The decision to bring back the Elimination Chamber for Rhea Ripley had been the right one, and as Rhea stood in the ring, her victory a testament to her power and dominance, Pearce couldn't help but smile. The future of WWE's women's division was in good hands, and Rhea Ripley had just taken another step towards cementing her legacy as one of the greatest WWE superstars of all time.